Hey there guys, I'm Kyle.
And I'm Paul. We're the Quad Bros, and today we're going to be talking to you about the new TBS Gemini.
This is our full review. Okay guys, so we're not going to run you through what's in the box, since we already have a full unboxing video. If you do want to see that, you can click on a video that we'll put like right here. So click on that link if you want to see our unboxing video.
So what we didn't mention in the unboxing was the setup of the Gemini. When you receive it, it's pretty much almost ready to fly except for a few small things. When you get it in the box, you're going to get 4 covers that go on top of the Gemini. In order to get them to stay there, you're going to have to glue magnets to the sides of them to correspond with the magnets on the frame so that they will stay there. In the packaging, you'll get a strip of magnetic metal with a 3M tape on the side. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to cut it up into little triangles, and then you'll have to fold the triangles and glue them onto the sides of the frame to correspond with the magnets so that it sticks there. I would recommend that you put some tape right where the magnets are on the frame so that you know where to line up the metal with.
And then you also use these magnetic triangles that you've cut out, and then they do have adhesive, but then you'll also use CA glue, which is also included in the package to secure them to the canopy.
And then after that, you're going to have to set up your receiver. We have the Tyrannus X9D and the D4R2 receiver, which works with PPM, which is how the Gemini works. So if you have PPM, all there is to it is just to plug it into your receiver and it's ready to fly. If not, you can use a receiver without PPM, but you're going to have to make some solders directly to the board on the Gemini in order to get it flying. Besides that, you're ready to go.
Yeah, so like he said, all you have to do is plug in your PPM compatible receiver and then bind it to your transmitter, and then you'll be almost ready to fly. The only thing you'll have left to do is put on the propellers. Okay, so I know y'all are all wondering how it actually flies. And well, it flies amazing. Really though, I was surprised at how stable it was in the air. If you let go of your sticks, it'll hover if you trim it outright, which is amazing for filming. And as we mentioned earlier, this comes with 4 canopies for both your racing and filming setups. Your film setup has a larger bottom canopy, which has space for your Mobius HD camera. And then your racing setup has a smaller canopy on the bottom, which hugs the frame better, which gives you more aerodynamic and speed capabilities. But both the top frames are the same on both setups. So other things I noticed, on the stock settings, the yaw rate was a little bit slow. So all you're going to have to do is go into the program and change that, which is quite easy.
And I didn't mention this earlier, but in order to connect the Gemini to the Tau Labs GCS software, you're going to need a micro USB cable that comes with most cell phones, most Android phones, and like some Kindles and other things. But if you don't have that, you're going to have to purchase it because it doesn't come with the Gemini.
Yeah, so back to flying. Honestly, another thing I really didn't expect from the setup was how effective the forward tilt motors truly are. Like I said, it's extremely stable, but you really only have to give it just a little bit on forward stick and it just kicks it. It is extremely fast. The forward tilt motors obviously help, which, like I said, I didn't expect. Other things to mention on flying are the included FPV video transmitter and antenna gave us surprisingly good and clear signal. However, we'll be mentioning that more in our next video, which will be our flight video, where we'll give you actual footage from our FPV setup.
Another great thing about the included FPV system is the TBS core. The TBS core gives you voltage regulation for the entire Gemini, as well as it gives you telemetry readouts in your goggles for milliamp hours and voltage. This is great because when you're flying, you know when your LiPo is about to die, so you can bring back your Gemini so it doesn't crash in midair. Another great thing that comes along with the FPV system is the Fat Shark SpiroNet antenna, which is nice because if you flip over and you may happen to crash, the antenna actually bends so you won't mess up any of the connections with your video transmitter or your antenna.
Another thing he didn't mention was that Fat Shark doesn't tie you into the included VTX. You're able to switch in a different one, even a different frequency, as long as it fits inside the canopy. And while he was talking about crashes, I was thinking about my biggest original concern about the Gemini, was that if you did crash pretty hard, you're going to break one arm or 1 or 2 arms, and then you're going to have to replace the entire frame. And while I can say after flying it quite a few times and crashing quite a few times, we haven't had that issue at all. the frame has held up extremely well, which was by far my biggest concern, like I said, so we're happy to see that. While we're talking about the frame and crashes also, we wanted to mention one thing we did notice. The awesome thing about the TBS Gemini is its modularity, which allows you to do really quick repairs in the field with both your motors, ESC, and even your flight controller. What we did notice though is that due to the modularity of it all and that you're able to switch components out quickly, occasionally you're going to have things that accidentally come undone, your connections are undone. On one of our minor crashes, actually even just a hard landing, since we had a receiver under the flight controller, when we crashed, it bumped it and the flight controller disconnected on 2 of the motors so they weren't spinning. And we tested all the connections and eventually figured out it was the flight controller. So even if it's a minor crash, beware that you might have a missing connection, and I would just check your connections on any crash that you think might have maybe bumped something out. So we'd like to thank everyone for watching this video. We'd love to thank Team Black Sheep for sponsoring this episode. We'll have their links in the description below to their website for all their products, as well as the specific link to the TBS Gemini, this awesome mini hexacopter. And I'll also say please subscribe to our YouTube channel because we'll be doing a few more videos on the Gemini. Next week we're going to be putting out a flight video, which will have both footage from the FPV system and from the Mobius HD camera. And we also did a flight test for this review, but because we wanted to get a little more footage, we didn't push it too hard. But we were getting about 45 miles per hour or so on a 3S 1300 milliamp hour battery from Lumineer, and roughly 50 miles per hour from a 4S 1000 milliamp hour Team Black Sheep battery. But we'll be doing a more accurate speed test with hopefully a radar gun during our test or flight video next week. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and of course hit the comment button if you want to ask us any questions about anything in the multi-rotor hobby, or of course this awesome new TBS Gemini and our experiences with it. So thanks so much for watching, and we're going to leave you with this.